Is everyone ready? We negate. Contention 1 is road to oppression. The Belt and Road Initiative is facilitating human rights abuse. Cronin Furman wrote in 2017 that the Uyghur people have been targeted because they sit on the route most key to the Belt and Road Initiative. And as a result, members of the security forces are committing torture and extrajudicial killings. Restrictions have escalated with authorities treating Islam as a contagious ideological disease whose sufferers must be quarantined. The vast network of internment camps have doubled more than size since the beginning of 2018. The Hong Kong Free Press in 2018 corroborates. The Xinjiang area, which China considers crucial to the success of the Belt and Road Initiative, is at the heart of the global spanning trade infrastructure program. The BRI is an important factor behind the central government's urge to bring the region under its control. The heightened security and need for the Xinjiang area to be, has conditioned genocide for the Uyghur people. All Out writes in 2018 that the Uyghur cultural genocide has paved the way for successful implementation of the One Belt, One Road Initiative, to which the Uyghurs are perceived to be a threat. The cultural genocide therefore serves as a political purpose. Consequently, Abbas 2019 writes that as many 3 million people may be imprisoned in concentration camps in Xinjiang, and the Uyghur genocide is key to genocidal spillover. The New Statesman concludes in 2019 that the network of enormous detention camps across Xinjiang is certainly the largest mass incarceration of a racial or religious group since the Holocaust. The country has remarkably been successful at using its economic clout to minimize international criticism. What's happening to the Uyghurs could set an appalling precedent for the coming era. For example, the Uyghur American Association in 2017 concludes that if the One Belt One Road Initiative is successful, the minorities in neighboring countries such as the Balochis in Pakistan will face similar challenges to the Uyghurs. Stopping the BRI is the best solution. There are two warrants why. First, it will remove the economic incentive. According to Ma in 2019, experts point out that China's growing emphasis on the BRI projects coincides with Beijing's crackdown of Xinjiang. The campaign of repression only stepped up in the past 2 years. The role of Xinjiang has changed greatly with the BRI, and China's ambitions have turned to Xinjiang into a core region of economic development for the BRI. Second, it removes crushing dissent. Ma continues that because of the BRI, Beijing has made extra efforts to ensure that countries involved don't speak out about the oppression. Chinese authorities have invited dozens of journalists and diplomats taking part in the BRI to highly controlled tours of Xinjiang's re-education camps. Contention 2 is the Boston heat wave. Will Gore of The Independent reports last October that we only have 12 years until we hit the 1.5 degrees Celsius tipping point. Such a shift in our planetary temperature will have disastrous environmental consequences for all of us. Unfortunately, promoting the BRI ensures that we hit that degree tipping point. Walker writes in 2018 that the BRI region's energy and transportation sectors, almost 3/4 of the financing goes towards oil, gas, and petrochemical industries. And 93% of the energy sector investments owned by the state will also go to fossil fuels. And the BRI fossil fuel investments are key to future increases in global emissions. Zadek 2019 concludes that new infrastructure will be a major contributor to global carbon emissions over the coming decades. That is, BRI-involved countries will become the single largest source of carbon emissions over this critical period. These countries are currently on track to generate emissions well above the 2-degree scenario and would account for 50% of global emissions by 2050. Making things harder, carbon emissions are also going to lock in at the contractual stage of investment. This means that carbon emissions in BRI-involved countries will become largely locked in over the coming 1 to 2 decades. The impact is twofold. First is mass starvation. Brown 2012, the Earth Policy Institute concludes that a 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature yields of crops decline by 17%, which is why the IPCC in 2001 concludes that climate change will increase the number of hungry and malnourished people in the world by about 10%, or an additional 80 to 90 million people. Second is heat exposure. Atkin 2017 of the New Republic explains that if we don't reduce fossil emissions by the end of the century, nearly 3/4 of the Earth's population will face a high risk of dying from heat exposure.